Alrighty, action. What's he have here today? Well, this is the Daisy Mae. I'm into rhyming tonight, I guess. Didn't even know it was time to rhyme. In from Big Agnes, y'all can look up the specs on this. If you don't know much about it, it has an integrated area you can put your sleeping pad. I had one of my first setups had the old pad sleeve where you slide it way down the sleeve, and I always liked that setup. It's just the whole sliding it down the sleeve, and I've been watching for the setup where you integrate the pad. You can see my Air X-Lite women's 66-inch pad. This is a women's sleeping bag, however it is set up for a full pad. Basically the men's regular coincides with the women's large. As far as these, you got the Anvil horn, that's the man's, the Daisy Mae's the woman's. I got a good deal on it. I've got a lot of videos saying why, but lots of times they will build a little more insulation into the woman's, and sometimes you get a deal on the woman's. Maybe you want a zipper opening on this side, like so you can get out on this side of the hammock or tent. There's a lot of reasons you might want the woman's or the man's. You know, maybe you're a woman and you like a little more room and you want the man's. There you go. Kind of looks, I don't want to say it looks womanish. It's a deep Valentine's Day red though. Anyway, we're not quite to Valentine's Day. This is January 24. It's supposed to go down to, I think they said -7 or 9 or something Fahrenheit. I don't know. It's not quite nearly that yet. It's like in the single digits Fahrenheit, or you know, at most 10 or 11 right now. But yeah, this is the idea that I've had a lot of great success with that 66-inch by 20-inch wide woman's pad with this nice, generous, custom bottom quilt from Hammock here. This is the Incubator, as long as it gets, and they added an extra baffle. That way I get it around my pads, even if I suck this sucker down on the big pad, the medium wide Air X-Therm. I don't know, I get NXT. There's all kinds of different pads I've been messing with for years, but you know, I feel like I have one of the sweet spots. Like, if it was just going to be around freezing or so, I might just go with the bigger pad. And if I was going up to Green Bay to visit my friend and just sleep on the floor a lot, I would just take that big medium wide NXT, the bigger pad. But as far as I have a lot of success, I'd flip it over here for you, but you don't want to mess up my hammock. The 66-inch just is fine for me. I'm about 5'11", so my head will kind of drape into a little spot there, and my feet kind of drape into a little spot here. So my heels will just kind of rest right off the pad. I'll let people know what pad works the best. The other thing is the big medium wide pad. This is an ultralight ENO here, a Sub 6. It weighs 5.8 ounces or something. 6 ounces in the stuff sack. And what I'm getting at is it gets a little tippy when you get that big pad in it. For me, it's fine. I just think like I can do them both. And another thing is if I haven't used these yet on the big one, I'm kind of having fun playing around with my newer item. But, and you know, Hammock Gear builds into their quilts these little things that you can kind of snug them up, or if you want to, you're in your hammock and you want to clip the thing across and snuggle the bottom quilt around you, or just close the whole system off. It's really windy and you're leaving your hammock up and you want to close it off, you can. I don't know, this is a little different, these little doodads, than the other Hammock Gear bottom quilt. Anyway, I don't want to take people's time up. I'm gonna have a lot on this. I tried with my other camera and it went dead because it's just so cold out, and it should be pretty nice. My other setup, I've been using a, oh, it looks warm just getting into it, like getting swallowed by a snake. It's like going right down the throat of a possum here, tongue and all. But anyway, yeah, my other setup, the 15 Fahrenheit, what do you call it, REI Magma, super nice in the hammock, but on the ground, it just because it's so form-fitting to my body and stuff, I want to curl on my side or whatever, I'll be in the fetal position, my butt will get a little cold or whatever. I don't know, same with just playing around with stuff. I got a good deal on this thing and keep putting the tags on it until I know for sure, you know. But, you know, I'd love to have a matching camo sleeping bag, or I know they make, Hammock Gear makes the pad kit. It has some connections like this, and you can kind of elastic straps that wrap around the sleeping pad. I haven't learned that system too much. I tried some little shock cords that came with one kit and it just got funky, and I just want things simple, and just being able to quickly suck that pad sleeve over the pad works. So, and if you get to see one of my other couple other videos, I've been doing a lot on this. The medium wide Neo Air X Therm is a tight fit, but it fits. It's a 72-inch long pad by 26 wide. That's your run-of-the-mill latest Thermarest winter pad. So if I was to just throw that on the snow, I'm in the hammock more. That's why I have the pad that I'm using. But I could have, it just might depend on, you know, on what I'm doing. I've got my jacket shoved in the little shove pocket for the jacket. The phone, all the phones I have seem to fit okay in here. It's a little tight, but it fits fine. Little pocket for your phone or your battery or your night lamp or whatever. That's one of the first I've had on this sleeping bag, a little pocket. It's a 0 Fahrenheit rating. I believe it specs out like you really got to do is look in the specs, you know. Specs out, I think, a 9-degree comfort rating, which is pretty good for I might be lying to you right now. You look it up on your own, the actual comfort rating of the sleeping bag, but it's, you know, it's Big Agnes, the one sleeping bag I do have from them right now, it's not fooling around. So yeah, this Daisy Mae, there's a Sunbeam in the woman's, there's a in the man, there's the Anvil horn, there's the Lost Dog, the synthetic version. There's a few of these. It just has the little sleeve in the back. It's not a sleeve, mind you. It's like some elastic that just, a little opening that sucks onto the pad. So we'll see how it does here, you know. And another thing, you're like, well, what if you just want to lay on your hammock without the pad? I'm just kind of getting into, that was a fear of mine for getting this sleeping bag. Like it does have some wraparound like a quilt. Like, I'm fairly impressed at how well they insulate where it wraps onto the pad. There's only like 15 inches around your actually back that's not insulated, but I don't know how that would work if you were using a sleeping bag like this. And just, I've been trying to, you know, get more acquainted with ground camping. I've been trying to find things that work better, and this is just something I'm not afraid to mismatch things. Big Agnes has a pretty good system. It was really hard. Hammock Gear had another 30% off. I could have got a matching top quilt, but for as much as I'm on this pad, if you're just laying on the bottom quilt, I mean, this extra large bottom quilt, awesome. All where I've gone wrong on the bottom quilt is getting them too small. I need it to be lightweight. No, put the extra 3 ounces of down to have it a little longer. You know what I mean? Just buy it a little longer and quit fussing with it, type of thing. The Sub 6 ENO, I've had 2 gray ones, Sub 7, a Sub 6. This orange one, it was $30, so give a shout out to REI, $34.99. Sub 6 hammock. I got it swapped out for a button link. These gimmicks of a ridge line is my Exped Slit Line. Lots of times I'll If I have some extra cord, I'll just rig it up out of the snow. And then what I can do then is take my parka or my bear's blanket, whatever I have, a scarf, whatever, you know, my extra winter jacket, and I can make I get a little microclimate where my head is. That way I can peek out of there at everybody. Oh, I get that nice microclimate, so, you know, if it's -7 Fahrenheit out here, it might be 1 Fahrenheit underneath my jacket. But yeah, see how this does and get testing it. I was gonna set up a tent too, but if I feel like crawling, see, like, you can't see, like, this is the heart of the bluff country. This is where I've always been, and there's just hardly a flat place to put a tent for one. It's frozen. You're crawling around putting in all those spikes. And here, all I need is two trees. It's perfectly clear out. There's an awesome moon. If you can't see that, I love looking up at it. Like, when I'm out hiking like this, I just string my tarp around in its snake skins. I don't know if you, it was like freezing cold. So all the ground is just really hard and frozen. And do I really want to put in a bunch of stakes? Stakes, I said, not snakes. I got a truckload of snakes still for them horror movie folks, but they're a little frozen, if you know what I mean. Like a stiff pot of spaghetti that Granny left out all night.